jumping on the bandwagon.
Anything going on there?
Who's first?
Steve, this morning after shoot-around, Steph said he'll be on a minutes of 24 to 28. He doesn't like minutes restrictions, but is that what you're aiming for, at least
Yeah.
this first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll play him in shorter bursts, 4 to 6 minute bursts, and try to keep him under 30. We'll definitely keep him under 30, and the idea is kind of 24 to 28, but we'd like to have him finish the game, give us the best chance to win. So we'll keep a close eye on him. I'll be talking with Rick during the game. If Rick sees anything, he'll let me know. But that's those are the numbers we're looking at.
Amber Lee with KTVU over here. Can you describe the general feeling of having him back, and he's among a lot of new faces?
Yeah, I mean everybody's excited. It just feels like in a lot of ways not just Steph's return, but just feels like we've kind of emerged from the woods a little bit. The last week or two, knowing Steph was going to return, but also winning a couple games this week, getting some clarity on our roster with the trade for Andrew, signing a couple of 10-day guys who've really helped us, and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a nice little stretch here, and I think Steph has a lot to do with that. I think as he's been around us, and it's become apparent that he was getting closer and closer, the impact he makes on us is that he just he gets everybody excited, and I think tonight we're all thrilled for him more than anything, just because he's put in so much work. But we're all excited to see him out on the floor.
Yeah.
Hi, Steve. Steph, I guess this morning said it felt like the first day of school, and I was wondering if that analogy does that feel like it to you, or maybe Christmas morning, or and do you think that this boost of energy that you're talking about will last through the rest of the season? That whatever he's bringing is going to help the team maybe through the last 20 games?
Yeah, I mean this day has been coming. I mean, we've seen Steph up close working so hard on his game, and he's looked ready for the last couple of weeks, but we had to take steps, and he needed to play live, scrimmaging with Santa Cruz, scrimmaging with our guys. So, it feels like, all right, he's more than ready, and we've been anticipating this day. I think for him, he'll settle in pretty quickly. I know he's going to be nervous, but I know he'll settle in quickly, because this is what he does, and this is where he's most comfortable. And I do think there will be a sense of energy and enthusiasm the rest of the season, because to me this is sort of the beginning of next season in a lot of ways, and I think we're all starting to get some clarity as far as what our team's going to look like. And having Steph back is obviously a huge part of it. The next step will be getting Klay back, but that won't be till next season. But I think these last 20 games are really going to be a springboard into next year. So I think that energy will be high and remain high.
Flipping quickly to another player, this is Draymond's now his 4th straight missed game with the knee. This is obviously a marquee game that you would expect him to want to play in. Is there anything concerning going on with that knee?
Not really. It's more just something that's been nagging him, and I know he would have loved to have played tonight, but training staff just doesn't feel comfortable putting him out there yet. So we're hoping, the next couple of days everything clears up. It's just a kind of a tweak in his knee, but he had an MRI. Everything was fine, no structural damage or anything. It's just been bothersome, and we're being careful.
Steve, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. What are your thoughts seeing the Raptors on the floor, and how they've been able to manage, even being quite a different team than they were last time you saw them?
Yeah, well, they've had a great great season. I think they've carried over the confidence that comes from winning a title. You know, even losing Kawhi, you see the confidence that everybody else has. And we experienced something similar, you know, in 15, 16. After we won our first title, we came back and there's a different level of confidence that exists, and that allows you to get through the difficult games, the difficult times, and even a difficult trade like Toronto dealt with. So they're having a fantastic season, great story, and great team.
Hey Steve, Dan Lucky with the LA Times, bandwagon jumper.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
It's been like 4 months or something.
I think since Halloween or something. As a guy who made his career shooting the basketball, can you imagine what it would be like to have a guy hand not feel right, to have it not feel normal, the tingling, and how, have you talked to Steph about kind of that element of his recovery?
Yeah, I think that's maybe being overblown. I think you know, Steph has said that it's you know, it's something that's there. He notices it, but you know, he's out there shooting like he's always shot, and so I don't think this is going to be an issue. I think it's something that's naturally people are curious about, and it was a very serious, detailed surgery. But he's doing great. You know, he's out there shooting every day, and he's feeling good. I don't think it's going to be a factor, and you know, he's just got to get comfortable out there and get his legs underneath him. And I think he's going to be fine.
Steve, Doug Smith of the Toronto Star. What have you seen from Andrew Wiggins at the time you've had him that has surprised you, and how do you think he fits in a more successful, more an organization like yours as opposed to the one he came from?
Well, I think what's maybe surprised me is just what a good passer he is. I've always watched him and known how difficult he was to stay in front of. You know, he's so athletic, and when he gets going downhill, he really generates pace and speed. And but what's been impressive to me is just the way he sees over the top of the defense and makes the right pass. You know, 10 assists the other night, and he's frequently surveying the floor, finding the right guy over and over again, which is a great sign for us because you know, when we're whole, we're going to have a lot of shooting out there. We're going to have the floor spaced, and he'll be tough to handle. He's been a great person, great teammate, wonderful to coach, very humble, quiet. I think he's happy and excited to be here and still feeling his way through his new surroundings. But I think it'll end up being a really good partnership.
Joe Varden from The Athletic. 2 questions. The first one is quick. When you have to do minutes restrictions, you have to kind of guess and play with when you want a guy out there in the fourth quarter. Assuming this game is close, do you want him out there closing?
Yeah, that would be the idea, but we have to feel the game, you know, and so you have to balance all of that stuff. So if you sense that you know, the game is within your grasp, and you know, then you time it up and you go for it. And if you sense that the game's going in a different direction, then you focus much more on the minutes. Maybe you let him, you know, play out a string of 7 or 8 minutes in a row to get a really good run, and then take him out, and that's it for the night. So we have to feel how the game's going.
And then at the top, you were talking about how this feels like you're coming out of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how pro athletes, especially guys like you who have been at the very top and won a bunch, how you deal with doubt. But in a year like this, have you had any kind of feeling of like doubt? Are we ever going to get back to being anything close to the Warriors of old, whether it's next year or whatever, just because of everything we've gone through?
I don't think doubt is the word that I think of. I think more it's a feeling of can we just persevere? You know, I think there's always been the idea that when we get through this season, you know, we're going to get healthy and we're going to get some guys back. We're never going to be the team we were the last 5 years. You know, I knew that, you know, last summer. How could we possibly be the same team, losing the guys we lost? So we'll be a new, different version of the Warriors, but it's an exciting challenge, and it's one that our staff and management and players are embracing. And all of a sudden, Steph and Klay and Draymond are the vets, and we're raising all these young guys. We're trying to help them develop so that they can be part of the next era of our team, the next vintage. And so it'll be very different, but we still have a lot of talent, and we have guys who are committed and enjoy playing the game and playing together. So we feel like we can be pretty good again. But what you saw in the past, it'll be different.
Steve, Michael Grange again. One of the young guys you talked about made reference to Michael Mulder. You know, he's kind of came off the radar even in Canada. He wasn't one of the prospects that have come up. What have you seen, and what are his chances of getting his 10-day extended?
I didn't know anything about him when we signed him. Had no idea who he was, and his second game against Phoenix, he came out, didn't do much in the first game, whoever we played, I can't remember. Second game, he starts out the game and he's about 0 for 5, and I'm feeling bad for him. You know, he's on a 10-day contract, and you feel the clock ticking, and you want to make an impact. And, you know, I've been in that situation as a shooter. Things can snowball on you, and his response to that start was incredible. He kept firing, started knocking down shots. He went out and asked to guard Devin Booker. We didn't put him on Booker. He went out there and he said, "I got him." Most players don't do that. Most players walk the other direction from a guy like Devin Booker. And he did a great job defensively and knocked down shots and helped us win a game. And he's played well the last couple of games as well. So we appreciate not only his game, his shooting, his defense, but his toughness and his resilience. And I think some of that comes from the fact that he's had to fight for everything. He's never really been given anything. He's had to earn everything. And we are all really, really impressed.
Steve, I know you made the joke about the bandwagon earlier, but
You've been here. I
see me all right. Yeah, for sure. But is it you know, are you feeling the buzz right now with, you know, everyone around? Does that kind of bring a sense of normalcy, considering that, you know, you guys are one of the most covered teams over your, you know, first 5 years?
It doesn't feel normal right now. I'm wondering why everybody is here. So I had to remind myself when I walked in. I saw everyone. I said, "Oh yeah, Steph's coming back. That's why." So it doesn't feel normal yet, but I'm sure it will. Unless you guys all leave after Steph's first game, because we're still in last place.
2 more.
Coach, what is your thoughts, or do you care about how the draft pick could be potentially affected? And also, what do you think is the difference between this team when Steph got hurt to now?
We never talk about the draft pick. We've tried to win every single game. We haven't been successful at that, but we've tried. And this is sort of probably the third different version of the Warriors in this season. And so it's been a real challenge to try to find kind of an identity and to get some traction. But I feel like we're building something, and we've got something, and our young guys are playing so much better. You look at Jordan Poole over the last 10 games compared to the first 50, dramatic improvement. Eric Pascal playing at a really high level, Marquise. So it's really exciting to see these young guys coming along, and that's why I talked about what I mentioned to Ann earlier, just about this feeling like, you know, this is the beginning of something, not the end of something. That's a palpable feeling in our locker room. Everybody's excited, and way more excited than we should be for a team that's 14.
46.
Thanks. 47?
48.
48. Raymond had that wrong. You have 20 games left. You are correct. 14 and 48.
Winkler would have had it like
Yes.
I should ask about Looney. He had that really nice game
Yeah.
in Phoenix, and I think this is 3 straight miss now with hits on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a concern, and we'll have an update tomorrow. He had some momentum, and he was playing really well for us, and so this is a bump in the road, hopefully, but we'll have an update tomorrow when he has a chance to be evaluated by our doctors tonight.
Cool. Thank you. Locker room will be open at 6:15.